All right, game 2 is finally here. Must-win game for the Cubbies. We talk about an interesting lineup decision and more right now.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, we are back. Locked On Cubs, little pregame show. I don't think we've ever really done a live pregame show, but I don't think we've ever been in the NLDS. In fact, I know we haven't since we've had the program here. This will only be about 10, 15 minutes, but since it was a weird schedule, we did a full show on Saturday, nothing for you on Sunday. I wanted to give you guys something before the game, and then, of course, join us after the game live. I know it'll be late tonight, Monday night, work night, but if you can't get to sleep after the game, hopefully for a good reason, pop on the show. Matt and I will be live after the game with a full episode. So we got 100 plus of you here, which is more than I thought pregame, so I appreciate that. Competing with Monday Night Football here coming up. But let's talk this baseball game. How are you guys feeling? I'll interact with some of these comments here. The big story, and I got to tell you, I don't really think it's a big story, but the surprise, if you will, is the lineup. The Chicago Cubs will be leading off Justin Turner, then Horner, Tucker, Seiya, Happ, Kelly, PCA, Dansby, Shaw. And then Milwaukee's, I think, running out the exact same lineup. Churio was questionable to go. He's going to give it a go. I don't really think he's that healthy. That's my gut feeling. Churio, Terrain, Contreras, Yelich, Vaughn, lefty masher, Frelick, Durbin, Perkins, Ortiz. Let's talk real quick. Let's get this Turner thing out of the way. Because I actually don't really think it's that big of a deal. It may turn into a bigger deal. I think this is nothing compared to the decision of putting Boyd on the mound 3 days rest. I thought that was a really big deal. This is a margin thing. So let me take you through it before we make comments and talk about it. Let's take you through the process. All right. So Ashby's on the mound. He's an opener per se. He might go multiple innings. He's a left-hander. We know Michael Busch struggles against left-handers. The whole purpose of why Justin Turner is on the team is to hit left-handers. So what Craig is doing here, and I'm gonna take you through the pros and cons of the move. What Craig is trying to do here is get Justin Turner up at the most optimal time. And so right now he sees that matchup to lead off the game, kind of like an opener in a sense. He still feels like the first inning is high leverage. So why not get Turner in right there? And then if the predictable thing happens and a righty like Priester comes out of the bullpen, Busch will come in for him and Busch will finish the game. Let's just go to that scenario first. If that's the first scenario, the danger in that is obvious. Late in the game, couple guys on, 2 outs, down a run. You got a big lefty like Jared Koenig or whoever else they could put in, a good lefty like Quintana comes in the game, and Busch has to face them left on left, right? Whereas if you just started Busch in the beginning of the game, then you don't have to worry about it, and you get to use Turner in the optimal position. The other negative of this is, what if Pat Murphy just goes lefties all night long against Turner and just says, hey, we're not going to let you put Busch in here. We're going to go Ashby 2 times through the order with Turner. We'll go Quintana a time or 2 through the order, and we'll go Koenig, and you'll look up. It'll be the 7th, 8th inning, and one of our best players, Michael Busch, hasn't seen the field. That's another negative of it. The positives of it is well, maybe Justin Turner does something early in the game. And if they do keep lefties in all game, maybe Justin Turner has a really big night for Michael Busch. And if they do bring in Quintana after this, maybe the Cubs get to Jose Quintana because they should. So I don't feel super strongly either way. If I had to give you guys my real honest take, I'm just confused at the process here. It felt like things were a little overmanaged when Shota got open for in game 2. Then it felt like things were a little undermanaged when Shota was left to face in Machado. Then it felt like it was undermanaged and just saying, hey, we're going Matthew Boyd 3 days rest. That's our plan. That didn't feel like a very Craig Counsell thing either. Now we're going back to this feels like a Counsell move. So I don't know if there's multiple voices in place. I don't know if Craig just put his foot down and said, this is what we're doing game 2. But I don't have a strong opinion on this either way. Hopefully the Cubs win the game. I don't think if they win, it'll be because of this. I don't think if they lose, it'll be because of this. And to be quite frank, I'd like to move on. Let's talk about the path to victory from the pitching side of things, because that's far more difficult and far more intimidating. I'm going to guess that Shota only sees the order maybe once, maybe 1.5 times. I don't expect him to go more than 5 innings unless he is absolutely dealing. If you see the innings number with Shota start with a 6, that meant he was absolutely dealing. I'd expect to see Shota for about anywhere between 2 and 4 innings, and then maybe Colin Ray as a bridge. But then this is what you're looking for. They're going to go at, you're going to see some Thielbar. You're going to see some Pomerantz. You're going to see some Palencia. You're going to see some Keller, and you're going to see some Kittredge. It's going to be that path. All your relievers, all your big-time guys. This is a all-hands-on-deck type of game. This is the type of game you leave no resources out there. You go to Wrigley. You give everything you got to find a way to win this baseball game. You go down 2-0 to Milwaukee. It's very unlikely you're going to beat them 3 straight times down 2-0. But if you win this game, all of a sudden you're in control of the series. I know it's not like basketball where, home field, home court or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like, oh, we stole home field. But with Wrigley, it does kind of feel a little bit bigger than it does in other parks. I don't think we beat San Diego away from Wrigley Field. And I don't think the Brewers are going to come to Wrigley Field and win back-to-back baseball games. So if you win tonight, all of a sudden you're in a really good spot. How do I feel about the game? A lot of people ask me that. How do I feel about Shota? Not great. I really love Shota, and I wanted him to get the ball in game 2 against the Padres, and I thought he pitched well. He didn't pitch poorly. He gave up the home run ball. But it's hard right now with Shota. My confidence level isn't that high. I believe he's got a great start in him, but he's just got to – it can't be one of those nights where just everybody's hitting doubles and everybody's seeing pitches and hitting home runs. Like when it goes bad for him, it goes so bad. I think the first inning is massive. Whether the Cubs score or not, that's not as big. I think Shota's got to come out in the bottom of the first and make a statement, put up a 0, look sharp, 92, 93 on the gun, getting some whiffs, doing some really, really good things out there to go, okay, Shota's on tonight. Let's get ready to go. And it would be really nice if he, let's say he only goes 3 or 4 innings. Can we avoid a home run ball in 3 or 4 innings? Please. This is a team that doesn't hit a lot of home runs. Please. No homers. I don't even care if it's solo. No homers tonight. Lock in. Offensively, I don't know. I mean, can Kyle Tucker do something? I know he's got to face Ashby to start the game, and it's a left on left. I mean, how about Kyle Tucker hits a 430-foot home run, flips the bat, and says, this is why I'm in Chicago, rounds the bases, maybe says something to Contreras. Maybe we can get a little something going. And Kyle Tucker, have a moment. He hasn't had a moment where I've been like, that dude is a Chicago Cub since he hit that homer against Arizona. Let's go. Let's lock in. I'd love to see that from Tucker. You'd think Suzuki matches up fairly well with Ashby, as does Nico. I'm not going to get into that too much. Matt Shaw's been really quiet. Like to see him have a nice swing. But, yeah, that's it. Brewers look like they're like minus 140 favorites. Let me look it up, confirm that for you. It opened on Fangraphs at minus 118. Excuse me, on Fangraphs. It opened on FanDuel at minus 118. Let's see what it's at now. My guess is I think it's a lot higher. Minus 136 right now for the Brewers, which I think's a pretty fair line. And look, this Brewers team is really good. Whether we like it or not, they're really good. They kind of remind me a little bit of the Eagles in football, in the sense that, a lot of people don't love watching them play. I do, because I'm an old school baseball guy. I do. But a lot of people are like, man, this Eagles team, how are they going to keep winning? Hurts never throws the ball and all this stuff. And it's like, well, they just won the Super Bowl. And 2 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl. And this year they're 4-1. Now the Brewers haven't had that type of success, but the point is the Eagles, to use their example outside of yesterday, they know how to win football games. They find ways to win football games. And the Brewers find ways to win baseball games. They're really good. And they put the bat on the ball. They're locked in. They have a manager that really, really motivates them at a high level. I mean, they take this as seriously as anybody, and they're tough. And you look at their lineup, and nobody sticks out to you as, oh my goodness, how are we going to get them out today? What are we going to do? Nobody sticks out, but they're all tough. They're all tough customers. Terang, Contreras, Vaughn. I mean, Andrew Vaughn was in the minor leagues for the White Sox. He's a tough customer, so they're a good team. We're a good team. We've got to figure out a way to win a game today, and then everything flips heading to Wrigley, because Wrigley 1-1 in a couple of nights, and on a nice, cool October night would be absolutely bonkers. So I could take a couple questions from the chat. Haven't done that for a while. So I'll take some here before I head out for a few minutes if you guys have one. How many runs do you think we need to win this one? It's a great question, Thomas. The Cubs need to score 5 runs in this baseball game. 5. The Cubs haven't scored. The Cubs never score more than 3 runs in postseason games, ever. Go put up 5. Tion says, watch along. Yeah, look, I love to do a watch along, but it just feels like, I'm just bad luck. I'm bad luck with the watch-alongs. It's really come down to that. The game 1, I did a watch-along. They didn't score. I got off the watch-along, and they hit 2 home runs. I just think it's a sign, and I believe in that stuff. Cubs baseball. My dad still blames me for the whole Bartman situation because I moved couches as like a 9-year-old. So I just feel like it's not great luck. Maybe we get down 2-0 and we want to reverse it, but I just believe in that stuff. What brewer are you most scared of versus Shota? Terang. That's a good question. Boy. All of them? I don't know. I mean, Perkins is 3 for 4 against him with a homer. I mean, that sticks out because that guy's not an overly great hitter. I'm looking at the numbers. They all got pretty good numbers against him besides Terang and Churio. I'll say Vaughn. Vaughn just scares me versus lefties. Matt G, congrats. Great show. 400 people. That's awesome. Yeah, we got in post game. I think we got up to like 1,500 people live after the win against the Padres. And I think if we win tonight, might be a little bit too late. But we'll see. All right, we got time for 1 or 2 more. Who do you think will pitch the final 4 innings? Yeah, some combination, just depending on the pocket of Pomerantz, Palencia, Kittredge, Keller, for sure. If you had to guess someone on the Cubs to have a big night, who are you choosing? Another great question. I just don't think the Cubs can go very far without Kyle Tucker. So if they're going to win and they're going to do something, I need Kyle Tucker to hit a ball to right field in the upper deck where he flips the bat. And I just think it would do a lot for this team. So I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker. I'm not going to give my prediction because I don't feel great about this one. I really hope I'm wrong. Explain your defense of Chicago-style salad dogs. All right. I think on that note, it's time. To move on. All right. Appreciate you guys. Listen, everybody, please join us after the game if you can. I know it's late. Join us. We'll do post-game. If they lose, good therapy. If they win, we get to celebrate, and it's like a Saturday night, and it's 1-1 going back to Wrigley, all right? Little pregame. If you guys like this, I could probably mix this in for Game 3 and hopefully beyond. Cubs, Brewers, season on the line, division rival in their building, trying to make a statement. It doesn't get any better than this. So, while you're stressing out over it, try and enjoy it too. Appreciate everybody listening, and I'll see you guys in a few hours, all right? Take care.